The growing public pressure on lawmakers is amping up in Washington today, where the nonprofit Repairers of the Breach leading a demonstration against Republican spending plan, what the group calls the largest transfer of wealth from the poor to the rich in U.S. history. The Reverend William Barber speaking out in front of the Supreme Court earlier, where we also spoke to a rally goer.
They have passed a big, ugly, deadly budget bill, and they don't want it talked about in public. Now every senator is going to have to decide whether they're going to vote for the "we are all going to just die" approach to politics.
We're going to keep the pressure on, and we're going to keep speaking out and speaking up. People are angry, and they want to stand up and say, not anymore.
Joining us now is the Reverend Casimir Brown, Executive Director of Repairers of the Breach. Thanks for being with us. Your organization says this is a budget that destroys people. You're not mincing words. What are the potential impacts you're most concerned about and you want people to know about?
Thank you so much, Chris, for having me. We need a moral budget being passed right now. We are in a moral crisis because what we're seeing is cuts to Medicaid, cuts to SNAP, cuts that are going to impact access to safe and secure housing. We're seeing an increase in spending on the building of family deportation centers, detention centers. What we need from this Congress is to pass a moral budget, one that is for the people.
You heard what Republican Senator Joni Ernst said when she was confronted over Medicaid cuts, and she is one of the Republicans who argues, and this has been a main argument, what they're really doing here is saving Medicaid, that it's not sustainable at the levels it's at right now. What's your answer to that?
What we know saves people is access to health care, looking at health care as being a human right, not something that only a privileged few get. We're seeing that the cuts for Medicaid will impact over 13 million people. That's 13 million people without health care. We're also seeing that SNAP is being cut as well, affecting over 11 million people. Hungry mouths, literally, because they are forcing the brunt of it, the budget being placed on the states instead of they actually being able to do what is right and have the money given to the states so they can allocate the food assistance that's needed. So what I would say to that is we know what is right by the people. What's right is actually giving food to people on their tables. What is right is making sure that they have access to health care. What is right is not ripping families apart. And we know they can do that by passing a moral budget.
But have you seen anything, and I know that you've been working hard on this cause, you're surrounded by people who have dedicated themselves to this cause. Are you seeing indications that this kind of constituent pressure is having an impact on lawmakers?
Absolutely. What we have is a moral fusion coalition, and that's just another way of saying that we have people from across the country, across faith backgrounds and non-faith backgrounds, across political divides, because we are a nonpartisan movement. We have people from different geographic locations and races. And so we have a moral coalition saying we are raising our voices up for too many people who are often pushed aside and silenced. We are raising our voices up for justice. We know that when we continue to apply that pressure, that things do change. And this is one step closer to doing what is right for the people.
Reverend Casimir Brown, thank you.